Failed with major repairs. Technical repair report for bidding. Restoration with permit by a fully licensed vendor. Engineer oversight. 3 site visits. Certification with owner liability in lieu of a load test. Load test still may be required by the AHJ.
Fire escape inspection summary video. It's Inspector Alan Toll. I'm a registered architect and certified fire escape inspector. This is pre-load test inspection. So there is, in order to certify this fire escape, we have a couple of options. We could load test it, we could replace all the existing bolts, or we can provide an opinion affidavit letter with liability taken away from the city and fire escape engineers if this fire escape, in our opinion, knowledge, and belief, is ready for its intended use. So we're looking that the fire escape is painted and that it's structurally sound. Generally, in this system is actually 2 platforms and then a accordion ladder to grade. So I'm just going to do one video. Generally, the paint this is a galvanized fire escape, but it's starting to look like the paint is starting to peel off, the paint that was put on there. So we would recommend, like, if not 100%, which would, allow this to be okay for 5 years, that we spot paint it. And also probably about 25% structural needs to be done. It's all original hardware. One of the main concerns we have are these tiebacks to the building from the railing. I don't know why that's being pushed out so far. It almost looks like it was back to this point at one time, so the fire escape is leaning maybe 1/2 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. So there should, if this is the way it's supposed to be, we should have a tube around that bolt. And you can see that that connection is starting to be a little bit suspect, so we want to take a look at that. There's a ladder to the roof, which looks like it could use, you can see up there, use some tightening on those bolts up on the top. Same condition. I don't know why those bolts are sticking out so far. You can see that one there and there. So I would even recommend some intermediate connections back there, but it is punched through. Again, it could use some paint. Rails look good. Could use a little bit of stiffening, as you can see. But here we have the same condition here for that bolt back. So it's unusual. I don't know why it wouldn't just, pull this back and have a tube in there, but we want to verify that connection. Flats are in good order. Again, original hardware, but no internal rust occurring. Mostly just maintenance that's needed on this. So again, these railings maybe a little bit stiffened back at this connection. Coming down, again, there doesn't appear to be any rust occurring, any internal rust, but while we paint it, it'd be a good idea to seal all this with caulking. These bolts look in good order, but if we wanted to replace them, that would be certainly a good recommendation. Here, there's no internal rust happening, but what could happen is, as the galvanized starts to end its usefulness, you can start to get some rust occurring in here. So we would suggest, as it's painted, you can see peeling paint here, but as we paint this, that we seal all this, and then that'll prevent any water from putting pressure on those existing rivets. And just peeling paint, maybe more, probably ready for a good paint job, but at least 50%. Some of the slats are popping up here. You can see here all this galvanized is paint is starting to go. So what you'll do is you'll come in here and scrape all the paint off. I don't know if the paint was done prior to 1978, but if it was, most likely it's lead paint. So an EPA renovator's license would be required. But we would come in here and scrape off the paint and then provide a Galbite primer. The door looks good. So coming down, you can see the connections on the bottom of the stringer. Again, a few missing loose slats, but really want to take a look at this condition again and make sure that's, it's really, actually, it's really all you've got on this side is holding up. The only things holding these up are these two cantilevered beams. This one, as you can see, so it is important. This one's only coming out, 8 to 10 inches or so. So it's really important that this member be verified. Looks like the ladder has been reworked on recently. Looks like a new cable. I'll try to. Oh, it has been. Okay, here we go. Here's the done by Great Escape in 2018. So that's in good order on new hardware here. But really just some routine maintenance for the most part. Taking a look underneath, really just either 50% paint, 25% structural, and really the main issue would be these tiebacks for the railing. I want to make sure that those are just a little bit suspect, so we can't verify what's going on back in the building. So either we can add a new angle clip, or we can just verify that those bolts are good and pull that railing back. So that's going to conclude this inspection. If you have any questions, Fire Escape Engineers, 866-649-0333.
Load test still may be required by the AHJ. Failed with major repairs. Technical repair report for bidding. Restoration with permit by a fully licensed vendor. Engineer oversight. 3 site visits. Certification with owner liability in lieu of a load test. Fire escape issues. Photos represent what the violations are, not where they are or how many exist. Pass-fail inspection, not technical repair report.